What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. I listened to The Business the other night, and I listened to Jason Black go in, all the way in, on Justpearly things and No Jumper. And when I say Jason Black went in, we all know how hardcore he can be, especially on white racist, but he went all the way in on these fools with no Vaseline, okay? And he showed video clips and audio clips of both of their little racist behinds. And Jason even went in on the other YouTubers, like the black YouTubers that hold these people up. He even went on them. And I appreciate that, okay? Because I've warned you about Justpearly things several times on my channel, okay? I've warned you about her and her blatant racism is not really even hidden because she said some extremely racist things before, but she builds her entire audience off of black people and the black gender war, okay? She just seemed to literally pop up out of nowhere. She claims that she saw Kevin Samuels and basically started regurgitating a whole bunch of manosphere talking points. And dumb Negroes fell for it. Dumb Negroes watch her show. They repost her clips. They go on her show. Jason mentioned specifically people like mediocre tutorials and Melanie King. And I've seen others on there as well. There's been other people who have been very supportive of Pearly. Even if they didn't go on her show, they will mention her in a good light. You know, I've even seen Crimson Cure kind of bigging up Justpearly things. So it's this type of just allowing anybody into our circles to talk about relationships is a problem, okay? And it's a real sickness. It's very twisted when I see black people. The gender war has fractured us and fractured our minds so much that we'll allow anybody to just jump on in there. We'll allow anyone to jump in and have their opinion just as long as they voice the opinion that's on our side. So, you know, these Negroes out here, they will go along with whatever Pearly says because she's on the men's side, apparently. That's what she poses out there. But, you know, really what she's doing is just a money grab. I mean, she already comes from a rich family, but she's using black people even more to make a come up. She's seen people like Vlad TV and others basically make a come up off of black people, off of a black audience. And the whole relationship thing is probably one of the easiest ways to get a viewing and a following on social media these days. So she knows how to push the right buttons and get that audience and get those eyes on her little flat behind to get enough views and to make money off of Negroes. All right. And, you know, I really don't watch No Jumper. I think I've maybe seen one or two clips or one or two interviews from that show, but I don't watch that trash anyway. So not really anyway. So it's not that big of a deal that or not much of a surprise that Jason went on them as well. I mean, that I've seen clips, enough like video clips where I can see that there's a lot of black celebrities or people known within the black community that go on there, and that's what gets black people to watch it. And these people, they just basically build up a whole platform around the black community and black issues and what black people talk about. And like I said, black people fall for it every time. As long as you're on their side, if you're on the men's side or the women's side, Negroes fall for it. Just go along with it. Just go along with it and co-sign it. And then when these people just come out and blatantly reveal their racism, you got a lot of Negroes sitting around looking stupid. And Jason was talking about that last night. He revealed that when he showed, or when he played the audio of some of the things like that were said on No Jumper or on Justpearly things. And he asked the basic question, you know, now that this information is out there, what what are these black people going to do now? Like, what are these black people that support these shows and watch these shows and go on these shows, what are they going to do now? I'll tell you what they're going to do, okay? They're either going to completely deny the racism that comes from these two jokers. They're going to just pretend that what they said was not racist. They'll twist themselves into knots and try to do some sort of trickery or try to rewire the language, or they'll just say, well, I know Pearlie's not racist because, she lets this black person sit on her show and talk to her, or she lets this black person get up in her guts or whatever. So that means that she's not racist because of that. Just totally disregarding history and white supremacy and everything else and how the whole system works. Okay, fine. So they'll either deny the racism or, and don't be surprised if you see this, you'll just have Negroes agreeing with the racism. Yeah, there'll be lots of that. There'll be lots of Negroes saying, well, she do got a point. She right. She right about how these black people are. I don't like black people either. There'll be a lot of nonsense like that. A lot of Charleston White type talk. Very recently, I posted up just a video on Twitter, and it was from Ben Stein and some of his racist comments. And you had idiots, black knuckleheads, come to the channel agreeing with it. So once again, you'll either have idiots either deny a white person's racism, or they'll just completely agree with it and go along with it and say, or they'll try to intellectualize it by saying, well, if you look at it in a certain way, she is kind of right because this, that, and the third, and my cousin said this, and my cousin did this, so all black people must act like that, right? Just retarded. And that's what Negroes do online, because once again, their fandom of these culture vultures completely outweighs their integrity as a black person. They're not black first. They're fan first, or they're gender war first, or they're manosphere first, or they're divester first. They put everything ahead of being black. So they're not even concerned about what these idiots and these culture vultures have to say about black people. Some of them will deny it, and others will just completely agree with it. Okay, this whole gender war. The fact that Pearlie will say negative things about modern black women, that outweighs, some black males' integrity as a black male. That supersedes them being black first, okay, and being protective of their people and their race. That supersedes that. Not all black males, obviously, but the ones that suck up to Pearlie, they'll go with that first. And I know there's some idiots here who are in love with just Pearlie things and just love what she has to say, okay, and are fans of hers. That's fine. Go do that. But, when people like myself or Jason Black warns you about these folks, don't be sitting there acting surprised by the mindset that they have, because you can see it already. And the thing that I always hate is when Negroes when they deny their racism, they'll be like, oh, where did she say that? I don't remember her saying that, and I watch her show all the time. That's nonsense. That's a lie. That's intellectual dishonesty at its worst. Okay, I hate when Negroes do that. Because I remember some Negroes did that to me when I talked about Andrew Tate. Like saying, where did Andrew Tate say this? Negro, you know when he said it because you were listening to it. You just played past it. Your fandom made you play past whatever they said that was negative, or you twisted it around in your mind so it wasn't negative about black people. Okay? That's what a fan does. The word fan is short for fanatic. That's what a fanatic does. When their guru or their messiah talks to them, or the people they support talks to them, they'll do whatever they can in their mind and twist it around so that they believe it. And they'll never question it. That's what a fanatic does. So when Pearlie has said something racist. You just listened to it and twisted it around in your head, and you thought she was only talking about black women or, she's only talking about those Negroes over there. She wasn't talking about you, though. She was talking about somebody else. Okay, you keep thinking that nonsense. And what's going to happen with Pearly? I don't know about No Jumper, but I already know with Pearly, she's going to keep using black people to build up her audience. And eventually she's going to get some sort of national attention, either from some right-wing think tank or from some network. And she's going to drop all those Negroes like a bad habit very quickly, very easily. Okay? And she'll pretend like she never had anything to do with them ever before. She'll ride them as long as she can till she gets to the next wave, and then she'll ride that and just leave you Negroes behind. So don't be surprised by that when that happens. Okay? Anyway, you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. And if you listened to The Business the other night with Jason Black and what he had to say about these two culture vultures. I'll post a link to it so you can listen to it yourself if you haven't heard it. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on these devils' back.